Giuseppe.
You ready?
I'm no going.
Oh, we're not ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome back, Holligans, once again, to another episode of Movie Hell. I want to say riveting, I want to say amazing, I want to say fantastic, but even though this was a movie that I recommended,
As I've seen another show start, welcome to another episode of I watched it but didn't like it.
What? No, I don't want to say that specifically. Let's not. Might be putting
That's us, not the movie.
Putting words into mouths. But this movie we're going to talk about here is a oldie, but a oldie. It is called Watership Down. It's not what I expected. I was actually expecting more 1984 or Animal Farm.
Oh, did you not? You hadn't seen this before?
I feel like I had, but like when I saw it, I was like young.
Because I think we watched Heavy Metal, and then you talked about this when we had Eric with us, and we were just watching it.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that I have seen this. It had just been a very long time. And a bit of trivia had popped up recently. My wife and I were out to eat, and we were just messing around with some trivia while we were at dinner. And the question came up, what song or what movie did Art Garfunkel debut a song in? And the song Bright Eyes, which I did not at all, even in any way, shape, or form, remember that song. There was a reason, because when it popped up in this, I was like, it was probably the worst. The worst part of this entire movie was that stupid song.
And the little sequence of them with it.
It was so bad.
It was less than, It
was less than stellar.
Less than captivating.
It was. But I had seen this before when I was a kid, and so they made shit different when we were kids. And I am considerably, somewhat, to a degree, older than my stunning co-host here. Like, this movie came out the year I was born.
I'm Ryan, by the way. That's Joe.
Yeah.
We're just going straight.
Thanks. We are going straight into it. Joe, Ryan, we're doing this.
Get it. Cook.
So this movie came out the year I was born. Way back when, 1978. And I remember seeing it a long time. It was one of those, now watching it again. Oh, this is the kind of movie that we got when we were kids. And there was some real shit that went on in our movies. Like, when I think back to some that I really enjoyed, you've got The Secret of Nim, was very good. Never Ending Story.
There's definitely a significant period of time where it was fairly normal to see really adult themes and behaviors in animated movies. I mean, we think of animation, I think generally, rightly, as for kids. I mean, I remember being a kid and seeing Aladdin in theaters. And when the Cave of Wonders opens up,
disturbs my slumber,
and starts talking and stuff, it's like, oh my God, with the sound and everything in the theater, like that was I don't think it really scared me, but it was like, holy shit.
Damn, boy!
So to see the stuff that we saw in some of these movies, like Wizards.
There will come a time on the planet Earth when science and technology will be long forgotten. When humanity will rise from the ashes of nuclear holocaust. When wizards will rule the world. 20th Century Fox presents Wizards, a futuristic fantasy epic born in the mind of Ralph Bakshi, the master of animated magic.
And Heavy Metal.
Columbia Pictures presents Heavy Metal. A trip beyond the future to a universe you've never seen before. A universe of mystery. A universe of passionate fantasies. A universe of terrifying evil. A universe of magic. Heavy Metal.
And now this was real tame by comparison.
Little. And I thought it was going to be not that. I thought it was actually going to go way harder into adult themes and things. But what that's really, I mean...
When they'd finished with him, both his ears were ripped to shreds.
I feel like there was definite religious overtones in this.
Sure.
Just, product of its time. Not that I'm for that in every conceivable way that we can. But, I mean, it's a movie about rabbits. And rabbit society.
There's rabbit politics. There's rabbit mating. There's rabbit.
Battle.
Yeah, I mean they have to deal with zoning.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kind. I mean everything a rabbit you never thought your rabbit dealt with. I have rabbits.
Yep, you didn't know this.
They're just rabbit.
They have
just
certain
hop.
areas that they have to keep track of, and
Yeah.
this is your mark. You have to be here.
My rabbits just like to poop in their litter box and then throw it all over the floor. I had no idea that they had to deal with
Did you have
politics
rabbits what?
and a cat, like a caste system and guards. There's like rabbit stormtroopers.
Okay, so I want to ask you, when they kept referring to this term in this movie, it was Alzla. Alzla.
Ausla. Yeah.
Alzla. When you heard that, when you heard it referred to, did you conjure anything in your mind? And if you did, what was it?
No.
Okay. I conjured like the SS.
Sure.
It was the first thing. I'm like, oh, is this? Are they trying to...
Yeah, but that word didn't mean anything to me.
Oh, no, not at all. Not
like,
the word.
Just
but...
like clearly this is the inner circle that like some powerful system, whatever. Like these are the ones that are in charge, or they have.
It is. It's like it seemed like their police force, but it seemed like that was just the name of it for every different rabbit society, because there were several in this.
Yeah, they had set terms.
The main character was voiced by John Hurt. Yeah, not William Hurt. William Hurt? John Hurt? I think it was John Hurt. The gentleman who played Hellboy's father in the first original Hellboy movies that we've had.
Oh, just aside, Kim had never seen any of the Bourne movies.
Oh, okay.
So we watched The Bourne Identity last night. A lot of early 2000s, like Euro pop house music kind of stuff that I didn't remember, and like over-the-top sound effects. But Walton Goggins is in that.
Really?
I never realized it. He's in like the Treadstone like mission operation room.
Okay.
He's one of the ones like standing in front of the board talking about like we were figured out where she's lived in the last 5 years when they're tracking Marie, the girl that he's with.
Okay.
Had no idea. You see people pop up everywhere.
Did he look young? I feel like that was a while ago.
No,
Okay.
he looks like baby version of him, but he still looks like him, and he does not look particularly young. He doesn't look like a teenager or anything.
Got it.
Like the guy that plays Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yep.
In Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul was the henchman in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Nice.
And he looks like a baby in that.
Okay.
Like he looks like he's 30, but he looks like a baby compared to how he looked later on. Walton Goggins just had like his hairline. He somehow looked like he had more and less hair at the same time. Like it wasn't a lot, but it came forward further. Part of the reason I love Star Trek so much is all the weird actors you see who popped up other places. But anyway, yeah. Hellboy's dad was in it.
Yeah, he voiced the main character. Oh my God, what did they call him? Hazel. I'm thinking Hunter and every other H name I can. And it was about them just wanting to go and be free and not be in this under the watchful eye of this caste system. And it had some fairly adult themes in it. Animation style was kind of what you expect for that time frame.
Yeah, it's very 70s. It's hard to describe exactly what it is. In our previous video, the oh my God, I'm gonna have to cut this out. What did we put out? What was the one that we actually put out? What did we talk about?
What do you mean? The immediately previous one?
We did Dracula. We did what did we do before it? I can't even remember.
Oh, Minecraft.
Was it in Minecraft that I did it? Anyway, either in our I can't even remember right now because we did it in one recording session. Either in our Minecraft video or the Fantastic Four one, I had a little sample of animation from the Fleischer Superman cartoon from like the 40s, and it's much higher quality. I think they like traced original like real photographs for some of it. They did a lot of modeling off of real movement, real people. This was very much like that'll do. There's a lot of animation from the 70s. It's like that'll do. Like they'll get the gist of it. You know, it's reusing assets. There's like we'll have the it's just it's the 70s equivalent of moving the PNG around the screen.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It is a product of its time for sure.
And then there's parts where they go really hard with the animation, and it's actually like much more detailed or much more trippy than you would expect otherwise. There's the black rabbit that keeps showing up.
Yeah,
but
who I mean they do. They refer to this black rabbit. They refer to some and the super weird names for all these. I'm not going to look up or tell you what those names are.
Well,
if you want to watch this.
Frith.
Frith.
Frith is their like, god.
Only because Lord Frith sent one of his great messengers.
Which
The Black
they
Rabbit.
show in this. Really, it's almost an Aztec style sun.
Sure, yeah.
If they animated something to be of that style, that's what it reminds me of.
And then the Black Rabbit is the Grim Reaper.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's way more adult themes. Like, don't. This would be definitely filtered from my daughter's Disney Plus account.
Yeah,
It's not a child thing.
But it's something that I very possibly could have seen when I was her age.
Sure.
Because it came out right then, and I remember my dad definitely showing it to me.
This was the 80s, man. There were no helmets. It was a wild place.
I'm not sure why now.
He might have been at the store and been like, "Oh, here's a VHS tape with like cartoon rabbits on it. Let's get that for the kids."
No, I think I feel like there's more to it than when he wanted me to sit down and watch this of an age where I was nowhere near being able to understand any of the real themes.
Goo goo gaga. I want milk.
But there was like intent to it. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna watch this together. You need to understand some stuff.
Yeah. But it wasn't like if we were going to sit down and watch what I was expecting, as I said, Animal Farm or something else. It was dealing with situations in which you don't really think about that stuff as a kid. And I don't know, maybe it was nostalgia and me wanting this to be better than it was. And for the most part, it was okay. That Art Garfunkel Bright Eyes song, that whole sequence was really let me down. It was very, very disappointing.
Yeah, so the whole plot of the movie is they're in a Warren and Fiverr, which I couldn't stop thinking about the site, like the website. But Fiverr is this, in a modern movie, he'd be schizophrenic.
Yes.
That's what they would say. He's schizophrenic. He's having visions, because he literally is having visions. He's like, oh my God, something's coming. Something's going to happen.
Yep.
And he's trying to convince them to leave. And his brother, right, Hazel, is like, he's having these visions. He's right every time. We better get out of here. And the main leader of their group is like, nah, like, thanks for coming. We'll talk about it later on in the summer. And the kid's like, we got to go now.
We're all gonna die.
And as they're all like, suddenly a bunch of them want to leave.
Yep.
And they go with him. And as they leave, they pass a sign, really well detailed sign.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of the better drawn things, is this sign that says like for commercial development or something like that. So they're trying to escape. They're trying to find a new home. It's got a little bit of like an Exodus sort of feel to it. They're leaving their homeland. They're escaping this thing that's going to befall them. The kid's got a little bit of like Moses stank about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're trying to keep the faith.
They are, and they just go from one little situation to another. They deal with little situations and problems, and they're overcoming things,
Overcoming doubt and issues within their own group, which are like, again, way more mature than what you would expect from a movie about cartoon rabbits. There's this whole thing where they stop at a farm.
We want to go back and find out.
Go back? After all we've been through?
And probably get killed for wounding Captain Holly.
And then this creepy rabbit comes out and he's like,
It looks like you've come a long way.
hey, he immediately reminded me of Jafar when he's in the prison cell with Aladdin and he's trying to convince him.
Yeah.
He's like,
We have plenty of empty burrows.
oh, we have plenty of empty burrows around here and all this stuff. And they basically just want more rabbits around to be fodder for the farmers. I'm not exactly
Yeah,
sure what the
there
issue
was-
but there's like, there's something wrong. Like, we're being
Yep,
given all
and-
this food.
And that same rabbit, Fiverr's the one telling them, hey, no, and he just leaves. He's like, F this, I'm out.
Yeah, one of the more
He's just
mature lines
Oh, I'm out.
right away was, they're like, you'll die if you go alone. And he goes, you're closer to death than I.
Yep.
And then one of the rabbits ends up getting snared. And he's like, see, I told you, like, this is what you're paying for. Like, or this is how you're paying for what you're getting here. Like,
You pay for it. The food, the warren, but no one must ever ask where anyone was or speak of the wires. The whole place is snared everywhere, every day.
They left Pigwig to die.
you are fodder for these snares now.
And you can tell these other rabbits, the first other rabbits they meet, like I feel like each set of rabbits that they interact with here, they have the ones where they started, their home burrow that they leave. And then they have this first set of rabbits they meet that they do not look like them. I mean, they're rabbits, but they're just creepier.
Where are you going, Stream? Far, far away. Take me with you, Stream. Take me on your dark journey.
Again, it like Lion King. It's like Scar looks different than Mufasa.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little darker. They're a little thinner.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little bit more
kind of ratty looking.
Yeah, a little bit ratty looking. Like they're hiding out in this hole, and there's something kind of up with them. They don't look healthy.
Yes,
like the other ones do. And it's the same. There's another Warren that they run into that is the main conflict for the whole movie, where it's real similar. They're being very tightly controlled, and some of them are starved, some of them are injured. They're using like visible scars for their markings, which is again a little bit.
I have been marked once, my dear, and let me assure you, no needle shall ever touch my skin again.
Yeah, they hit some definite marks in this, and I know it's old, but so I'm going through, I'm on IMDb, and I'm like scrolling and seeing whose names, seeing if I recognize anybody. The creepy rabbit, the one who comes out and greets them, he's voiced by somebody who I read, and that's why I was scrolling. I'm like, I recognize that voice too, and he was the Brody character from Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Brody's got friends in every town and village from here to the Sudan. He speaks a dozen languages, knows every local custom. He'll blend in, disappear. You'll never see him again. With any luck, he's got the grail already.
Does anyone here speak English? Or even ancient Greek? Water, no, thank you, sir. They're a fish maker.
So right around that same time frame. But as I'm looking, I see, I'm like, oh, there's a black guy in this. Because this is definitely a British production.
Sure.
And so British production during the time when diversity wasn't pushed over everything else. So they're not doing that just because. But, he voices this rabbit. This rabbit. They killed the black rabbit. I think it's a little much. I don't even me. I'm not even that felt a little. I'm like, they're killing the black guy, huh? And
it is a movie trope that I didn't think existed this early in cartoons in Britain.
Right? Apparently, we were wrong.
That's not it, man. It's just the black guy always dies. Think about it, man. Unforgiven, Alien, Rocky IV. The Shining,
Star Trek II, Forrest Gump, Witness,
Annie Hall. Not Annie Hall.
no, Night of the Living Dead.
That's the one.
I would never have known.
And to be fair, I would say, like, this character, he gets caught trying to escape this main Warren, which ends up being the antagonist of really the whole thing, or the culmination of it. And he's caught, he gets... really they kind of take it to him, and he's all beat up and hurt and scarred, and he's just treated terribly. You see that, but then he has an opportunity as they, these new people come in and they're trying to help them escape. Really, okay, let's be honest here. They're just trying to get bitches.
Okay, so the list so far is bitches, white bitches, Asian bitches, Brazilian bitches, East Indian bitches, West Indian bitches.
Like that's really
they go to this Warren, like they discover it kind of, because one of the members of their old Warren who's trying to find them ends up there, and he's like, this is a terrible place. They're like, but they got girls, so let's go. There's even a pelican, and he's like,
You got no mates. There are mates. There are chicks. Plenty trouble for you. You need mates.
It's working, Hazel.
You got no brains.
You have no mates. What are you doing?
I really like.
I'm gonna go find you some women. And then they're like, well, we'll go here. They got women trying to escape. We're gonna help them escape.
Yep.
But I do like that character, Blackavan, whatever his name was.
Yeah, but
it was something like that. But he has this moment where they're trying to escape, and he thinks that they're cornered, and he's like, we're gonna take out a couple of them at least. Like, I like that. And then he's cornered in their home turf once they've already escaped.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, fuck it. And he just goes for it.
Right.
Shoots his shot.
He shoots his shot against the major bad guy, who, like, there's another character, Bigwig is what they call him, And he was kind of like if the leader of the original Warren they were at had a number 2, this was his number 2.
Yeah.
It was his right-hand man,
and he was easy to remember because he was the only one that had, for
hair.
some reason, human hair on top of his rabbit head. The rest of them were
This
drawn
tuft, just one tuft
of
brown.
The rest of them were drawn pretty normally for
Yeah.
rabbits. Like, they were just rabbits. They weren't more
I guess
anthropomorphized
rabbits
than they were
have
supposed to be.
really big eyes. There's at least 5 are head.
Yeah, he did.
Zoom in a couple times. Ooh. Yes, but that character, I mean, I know the one black guy is voicing him in this, but he ends up being fairly brave and kind of sacrificing himself to try and give people some extra time to get away, and that was a nice thing. I appreciated that in this. But you brought up this bird, and I really, whether it's I try to think American Tail or just any of these movies, the original Little Mermaid, and there's so many of the, I think, Rescuers, where they throw in a bird, the Secret of Nim. There's always a dumb-ass bird. That's the one who I thought of the most, because that's voiced by Don Bluth, I think. Maybe that. It's somebody who voiced a lot of things. He voices this bird in Secret of Nim, and he did a lot of things in that time frame where it's just this goofy, just there for comic relief. It's a comic relief character.
Yeah.
And that's what this one felt like, almost a Russian.
I don't
sort
know.
of
Why. I
accent.
was trying to place the accent. It's like, could be Greek, could be Italian, could be Slavic of some sort.
Right. It's like Stifler's mom, that accent she has. That you just don't know. I don't know what it is.
His accent was super hard to pin down, and I really want to see if I can just set up a GPT for voice chat and instruct it to only talk in that style, and see if I can get it to do that. I'll ask it like detailed questions like, hey, I'm using Adobe Illustrator and I'm trying to accomplish this task, and it'll be like just talking like that. It's like, can you explain how a rocket ship works in the style of Kahar from Watership Down?
Oh, yeah, I try again. So, a rocket ship, it big metal bird, eh? It got fuel, lots of it inside big tanks. When it want to fly, it burn that fuel, whoosh, and make hot gas shoot out the bottom. That push the rocket up into the sky. More it burn, faster it go, until it reach space, yeah? It got stages like steps that fall off when empty. Then the top part go on, maybe to moon or beyond. Simple, yeah? Just like bird, but much bigger and louder.
Great job.
Hey, thanks. Glad you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want more fun explanations or anything else.
But I really identified with him. I'm not even going to try to like make up my own phrases because the stuff that he says is pretty good. But there was a point where he's supposed to be meeting them, the bird, and he's like, why I am here, why I am on bridge. Like, no, the sun down. This is not good. Like, he's just talking in such a weird Mr. Miyagi kind of way.
It's so weird. And I like that this character was thrown in. I dug him.
I used to feel that way at work. I'd walk into the office like, why I am here? This is no good.
We've all felt that. So yeah, there's several things that go on in this. And it's just really about this group of rabbits who just are warned of danger by one of their own who they believe, and they like, all right, well, we're not going to stay here.
And they're vindicated pretty quickly too.
Yep.
Like, it's fairly soon after that like one of their old members comes and is like, you were totally right, this happened, it was horrible. That was one of the times when it went hard, when they were showing like what happened and how they died and all that stuff. Like, that was, it's like, oh, super not for kids.
Super not for kids. Like, if you were a little kid and you were thinking about it, and they talked about their holes getting filled up, and then there were too many of them, and they were all trying to escape, but then one dead body would block the way, and then they were all, and the way they animated it is creepy as
it was because
messed up.
It's very surreal.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that's kind of surreal in it, when they're giving you exposition that you're not seeing like sort of first person, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's real. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, it's very experimental and artistic, and I appreciate that. It's not a movie I would have sought out on my own. I don't know. I'm not disappointed at all, though. You texted me last night, bro, we're hanging out tomorrow. Get your cameras.
Yep.
Like
We're
we're
gonna
doing
watch.
this.
We're gonna record.
Yeah, and I watched 40. I watched like 42 seconds before I hit pause on the trailer, and it's like, okay,
We've got to go away from the Warren. All of us.
Go away?
Yes, before it's too late.
Is there something wrong? What's he on about?
They're coming.
A world of ruthless tyranny and brave rebellion.
I'll settle with you myself, bigwig.
Come on and try, you crack-brained slave driver.
there
Yeah,
are.
because you asked, what do we watch? And I just sent you the trailer.
I could imagine them doing a rabbit version of like Full Metal Jacket, and it wouldn't be that much worse than this.
I mean, okay. Ooh.
They got an 8-ball. Oh god.
Yeah, this would. Could you imagine, like in the very beginning, when they first confront their wise old wizard rabbit and say, "Hey, there's a problem. He's always been right. We need to go." It's like, we're not kids. It's the middle of mating season. What are you talking about? I'm like, right there. Can you imagine your daughter? She's like 4. What's mating season?
He's like, the main guy looks back. He's like, but the getting's good, and he just does the eyebrows.
He does. Oh, it's so creepy. It's so old man creepy. Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder if I have to look. Maybe he was voiced by Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein's dad.
His dad. Ugh.
Yeah, Jebediah Weinstein.
So yeah, this was one I'd picked out, and it's, as I said, product of its time, but interesting. There are some for real moments in it. I mean, it's not enthralling. Like I wanted to. I will say though, there are, like, towards the end, there's a major conflict between the two biggest, baddest rabbits, and I felt like when I was watching things go on, I'm like, oh, I'm realizing in this short amount of time, based on the character development that I have seen happen in this little animated movie, I care more about what's going on with this rabbit here than I have for some of the main Hollywood releases we've seen recently, where there's like this main character and you're supposed to care about them and they're going through all these things, but then you're like, they're not really going through anything. There's no real hardship. There's no real development of their actual character that makes me compelled to care about them in any way. And this, I realized at that moment, I'm like, oh, this kind of has that. Like I've appreciated the journey I've gone on, and I want to see good things happen to these characters. Now I want to see them succeed. They've gone through a lot of stuff.
It's kind of rare, at least within one movie, I feel like, for a character to completely change from like semi-antagonist or antagonist light to a protagonist, or to taking on like a heroic role like that. But it started off heavily focusing on Fiverr and Hazel, and then moved to focusing on other characters. Like, they're still there. They still play a major part, but it's much more of a group thing as opposed to a bunch of nameless rabbits following the initial two the whole time. And they did a good job of showing that development. They even had the moment of like, but it's too risky. You can't go alone. And like cartoon rabbit, like stupid cartoon rabbit face, but it's supposed to be like, I know what I'm doing. Like, you really going to challenge me?
Yeah, I appreciated the...
I love the bird.
The bird. I appreciated the gumption and stick-to-itiveness of this group that you got to watch, and I thought it was an interesting story. It's not as compelling as some of the other ones that I think of from my childhood. When I think of Secret of Nim or The Neverending Story and different things, it doesn't, or maybe even The Black Cauldron, another animated one, but I don't know if you remember that, but The Black Cauldron is a dark Disney animated movie.
I don't recall seeing it.
It's good. It's been a long time since I've seen that, but I just remember, I can specifically remember about it that the tone of it just felt different than some of the other ones. But even Disney back then felt different, like Fox and the Hound and things. It was a different time for
Fox
Disney
and
at that
Hound,
point.
But this was dark.
It was, and that's just the kind of stuff we got when we were kids.
Yeah.
You were growing up fast, like, hey, this is real. This is real life.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, when it's your time, it's your time. And there's even the scene where one of them's like, I'll Rabbit God, I will. Like, I would gladly sacrifice myself for
Take
Rabbit
me,
God.
let
Rabbit
them
God
go.
responds. He's like, nope, what happens, happens.
Yep.
It's because it's meant to.
Yeah, the scene where a bigwig gets caught in that snare, and huge like spoilers here for this 1978,
which we've been
40
spoiling
plus
all
year
along
old
anyway.
movie. So like you think he's dead. Like there's he's choking on this thing, and a little bit of blood starts to trickle out, and then it starts like foamy bleeding and bubbling, and like and then at the very end, the climax of it, the way that they end up, so they get away, they go to this other warren, they sneakily help free some people who tried to get away from before but couldn't leave because like this one named female rabbit, it is found out that she doesn't want to leave until they can save everybody. So they do it. Right. They save. It was interesting the way it happened, but they go back to their own home. There's this new warren they found, and the other rabbits come after them. And there's a whole scene, and they're like digging in, and it's really interesting, and I really liked it. But the way it ends, again, just harsh.
It goes hard.
And this dog comes in. The whole idea of it. There's a farmhouse that's nearby. There's a dog and a cat, and it's been skirted and danced around the whole time. But they're going to use this dog to come and help them. It's like, oh well, they're going to take care of all these rabbits around the outside, and it was exactly
what you
like
expect to happen if a dog was set upon a bunch of rabbits who weren't expecting.
Yes. It, like there's the first couple real quick, he like grabs and bites, shakes, throws it down, and they show that. And the rabbit is dead, bloody, and he's on to the next one. And so there was definitely some real moments in this. And I thought it might not have been what I was originally expecting, and the whole Bright Eyes song thing, which when it started, it reminded me of the Fellowship of the Rings animated movies.
Yeah.
Or the Hobbit.
Yeah.
And that I can hear it. I can kind of hear the song in my head, and that's what it reminded me of. Only it's like that meme of Japanese girl. This one sparks joy.
This one does not
spark joy. And that's what I felt like with this movie and that stupid scene with that terrible. It was so bad. But realistically, the rest, if I take that part of it out, interesting story, well done characters, but it was decent. I don't know why that. Oh, it's like such a bad taste in my mouth from that stupid part.
So what did we watch this on?
Max, HBO Max is where it just is right now to watch.
All right. So yeah, check it out. I don't know if I would really. It's, if nothing else, for the novelty of rabbits with gruff English accents, like threatening each other a lot and talking not at all like I would expect rabbits to.
Yeah, it was a lot. But if you want to traumatize your kids,
buy them real rabbits that don't get along.
I mean, okay, that's one way. Or you can just watch this movie on HBO Max right now.
It's much cheaper, probably.
Probably, maybe. Well, it might not scar them as bad. So if you really want to do it, I mean, let's be real here. Go all in. If you're gonna go all in. But it was good. I would call this a watch. I was questioning at the end once I got done watching it if I would, but I think I still appreciated it more than some of the things that are being created right now, and the level of creativity that went into doing something like this. And just from that sheer fact alone, and some of the adult themes that went on in this, and I'm still a fan of watching the things from that time frame, the animation, the way they did it. I still like that, and so I'm going to go ahead and call this a watch. But it's going to be an understand. If you don't want to watch this, it's going to be understandable. I'm not giving anybody garbage for not watching this. But if you're looking for something different, a little eclectic, a little trippy, this will definitely fit that bill.
All right. Well, you heard it.
We did.
Maybe watch.
Maybe
if you're
watch.
Interested. And we're out. Oh, I'm Ryan. That's Joe.
Yep.
And
Now,
if you've been hearing the boofing, that's Olive, his secretary.
Yeah.
Furry four-legged secretary.